Jai Matara, Jai Bhairav Baba, Jai Ma Kamakya. Guru Brahma, Guru Vishnu, Guru Devo Maheshwara, Guru Sakshat Parabrahma Tasmai Shri Guruve Namaha. Kaini Vachamam Sindriya Buddhyatmanava Prakrisvava Karomi Yadya Sakalam Prasmai Narayanayati Samarpayami. Jai. What's going on, Aeons? It is day 4 of me recording a video every single day, talking about whatever the hell I want to talk about. Today's topic is going to be the intersection of spirituality and spirituality and finance. And we'll get into SPX 6900. But yeah, just kind of want to speak some thoughts that I've had and see what you guys think, see if you resonate, if you agree, disagree. Please comment, like below, and subscribe, follow, whatever the case may be. But yeah, I want to start with spirituality. Let's get into that. Spirituality to me is ultimately about finding and discovering who you are. You know, like, who am I when you get down to the crux of it? And the path that I'm on is, in the West we call it Hinduism. We don't call it there in our culture. It's called Sanatan Dharma. And it essentially is a path of finding out who you are. And if you think about it, we tend to identify here in the Western world, at least, with whatever it may be. Identify with your thoughts, with your actions. You identify with titles, job titles, careers. Identify with relationships, like I'm a mother, I'm a father, I'm a son, I'm an uncle. And those are all true. Those are all true statements. However, they're not the whole truth. And what I mean by that is that those titles are not eternal. They're not forever. So then you have to ask yourself, who am I? And in our faith system, for me at least, we will say that you are ultimately the soul, right? However you want to call that. We have hundreds, if not thousands, of names for this soul, this Atma. And that is really who you are. And that soul has taken birth into this body, and with this mind, with this intellect. And you've taken birth to fulfill a set of desires. And the actions you take in this life are also determined by the actions that your soul has taken in past lives. So that's essentially can explain why you are doing what you're doing, why you are here. And I know that's a lot to unpack and difficult to understand at times. But really, one of the ways to dig deeper and go within yourself is through a meditation practice. So yeah, that really allows you to kind of step back and slow down and step away from this hustle culture, this go, always chasing after desire, one thing after another. Everything that you're chasing is ultimately fleeting. Anything you're chasing in this material world, whether it's money, power, fame, food, sleep, sex, pleasure, it's all temporary. And your soul really wants to, it has a strong desire to love. And the desire to love is greater than all the other desires that I previously mentioned. And your ability and your capacity to love depends on how you were loved as a kid, as a child, how your mother and father raised you. And in this day and age, you see a lot of people suffering out there, with especially with this. Because if you can learn how to love truly, unconditionally, you know, nothing can really stop you, because you just love everyone, and you'll be able to accomplish your desires, achieve your desires, whether it is, you know, let's say money, power, and fame. If you just love, however that may be, it could be loving what you do for work, loving to create. Maybe you like to play an instrument, whatever it is, that can take you pretty far. And most people have lost that ability, never learned it, and are always playing these games, essentially, like in corporate America, for example. There's always games and politics being played. So that's essentially what the spirituality aspect of it. You know, ultimately, like, if you can learn to love, you can go far in life. Now, let's go into finance. So for me, from a practical matter, we're born here in the physical realm. We're born here in this material world, and you need assets. You need money to do things, to start a family, to love. And you know, you have to do some type of work, essentially, whatever that may be. And if you look in this late stage capitalist system that we have, there are fewer and fewer options for anyone to make a decent living, to be able to save for retirement, to have a normal job, get paid well, to come home, work, you know, to take care of their kids. Everything is just so expensive. So it just becomes so frustrating when you're trying your hardest to make it and you just can't, because of the economic system that we live in. And I kind of knew that early on as I was growing up, just observing around me, and that kind of led me to study finance in college, thinking that, like, oh, if I do this, then, you know, I'll be taken care of. But it didn't really work out like that. You know, I really did not like the day-to-day grind of working on spreadsheets and just working at companies that weren't really going anywhere, and just ultimately being very frustrated. And I feel like a lot of people can relate to that feeling of just being frustrated at work, you know, trying really hard, not seeing any rewards. And ultimately, you know, you were born in a situation where you didn't have the advantages. You didn't understand, maybe you didn't understand how wealth is created, how the economic system worked. Like, if you didn't study finance or economics, then you wouldn't really know that as well. But, you know, eventually you came to learn about it, and that probably led you to crypto, because here is a group of people in industry, so to speak, trying to create an alternative system, and it's not an easy task. And we've seen the rise of Bitcoin and the ideology and the ideas behind it, what led to its success. And it was ultimately a rebellion, a counterculture against the financial system that had existed. And this really started in 2008 during the big financial crash, where the illusion was kind of broken for a lot of people, where you thought that if you worked hard, you would be fine in life. But that was not the case at all. There's people in high positions of power that have a lot of money that can control these markets at will, almost. And you know, Bitcoin was an attempt to counteract that. And there was a lot of people, the original Bitcoin maxis, that believed in this idea and stuck by it. They essentially held the token, held Bitcoin, and didn't sell. And that's what led to these massive parabolic, you know, spikes and crashes that we've been trying to essentially replicate with all these other different types of assets. And now that we're here in 2025, with hindsight, we can see what has transpired. And, you know, Murad has been able to put the whole story of what has happened very well in his thesis. And you know, if you take the time to listen to what he is saying and really understand, if you connect the soul, the loneliness, the mental health problems, all those things happening as a result of this material society that we live in. And, you know, these cult meme coins, cults in general, they bring people together. for a common cause. And you know, I'm just I'm drawn to the crazy. I'm drawn to the excitement of doing something wild, doing something exciting, like flipping the stock market. Like I just can't think of an idea bigger than that. Like as far as, yeah, growing something in finance. I still interested in the subject, and I just, like starting a company and trying to IPO, like that's just not the route that I would personally want to take. I feel like this endeavor of working together and contributing whatever way you can, small or big, and just trying to, replicate that same level of parabolic growth that was achieved for GameStop, for Dogecoin. Because when you understand it scientifically, looking back mathematically how it happened, it's really simple. You just need a loyal group of diamond-handed believers who will not sell, who are in it for the long run, who believe in it, who contribute to the project in whatever way they can, and ultimately, hopefully you make some money. It's and that money can give you the freedom to pursue whatever it is you really want to pursue. We don't have the chance to figure out what our deep desires are. You're always on the go, so you never have a time to even meditate. So hopefully this kind of brings all these factors together and allows us to do that. And I feel like this is, I feel it in my heart, deep in my heart, that this is what's happening. Us people who are in SPX, we vibrate at a different frequency, and you can feel it, you can see it. We are hardworking. Maybe we got screwed by the system. And yeah, we have that capacity to endure, to persist forever. Forever, and we like, really, this is a couple of years. Where, like, because things move really fast in this space. So if you can go a couple of years, then what's another 4 or 5 years? Who knows? I mean, but we're just talking about the next 6 to 12 months at least, minimum. If you can endure that long, I think, like, from the spiritual point of view, like, you have the finance part. Here's a token. Here's a market. You buy and hold. You sell when the price goes up. Sell some of it. Keep some of it. Right? Whatever you need to live. That's the finance part. That's the same thing with equities, real estate. You buy, you hold, you sell later. You can trading is stressful. Trading in these Wall Street type firms people do it for a couple of years and they get out because it's just very stressful. So really, the peaceful life is to just buy, hold, build, work hard, and you will be rewarded. You just have to choose the right projects, choose the right community, the right people. It's ultimately always about the people behind it. And the more you participate, that'll reduce your loneliness. Like, if service is what allows you is what your soul wants. Your soul has a desire to give, to serve. And that can be in any number of ways. If you're always thinking about yourself, me, then you're going to be suffering. You're going to be depressed. You're going to be anxious. You're going to be feeling like the world is against you. You feel like I got to catch that next runner and then get out of crypto Twitter forever. Like, that's the mindset of a person who's vibrating at a lower frequency. And, this message is for everybody. Like, you just have to step back sometimes and figure out what it is that you really want in life. And, a higher power will align everything for you. You just have to believe in anything, something. I know what I believe in. So yeah, this one's gone 15 minutes. I just kept going. So I'm sure you guys will be pressing 2x on this persist forever, stop trading and believe in something, DCA every day, whatever you can, and good things will come. And if not, then everybody's screwed anyway, and at least we had some fun along the way. All right, I'll see you tomorrow in tomorrow's video. I think it's day 5. Day 5, yeah. All right, peace out, guys. I love you.